Good morning, everybody, or good afternoon, or good evening, or wherever you are in the world, or on whatever planet you're on. I don't know. My name is Matthew Armstrong, and this is day 23 of our 90-day transformation program from mediocrity to mastery. And I'm running super late this morning. Supposed to start at 6 a.m. my time, but I had my alarm in. Well, I don't know if my alarm went off, or I turned it off my sleep, or what happened, but I didn't get up till about 10 minutes ago. So that's why we're running late. I do my best to be on time for these, and I appreciate you being on for the live ones as well. So namaste, my friend. Yes, we're carrying on our relationship section of the values factor by Dr. John Demartini, and maybe that time, if you're on here on time, maybe that time gives you some time to meditate or complete your exercise or something. Remember, never waste time, never kill time. That's one of the sayings that I can't stand hearing that, you know. When I hear someone say that, I really want to go and have a conversation with them. When people say, yeah, it's going to do that to kill some time. What? Why do you want to kill your most precious resource? You know, you utilize your time to its maximum. Every day is a gift. Every day is a gift, right? Sometimes it takes a painful experience in life to realize that, right? But every day is a gift. Every moment, every 5 minutes, 10 minutes. So use it wisely. So maybe you have that time to meditate if you're on your live and on time this morning, or to do some exercise or something else, you know. And there's always something of value that you can do, something that will put you in a better state of mind rather than a worse state of mind, you know? Quite simple, right? So it's interesting, as we're talking about this section on relationships, I just felt severely challenged yesterday, severely challenged. Usually going to meet my mum and my father-in-law on a Friday evening, and our son and everything, and he gets to play around. And so anyway, yesterday I just was severely challenged, where I just was receiving all this challenging stuff from my mother, where I just felt completely misunderstood and unappreciated, where she didn't seem to understand, you know, what I did in the world and my mission and things like that. She's come from a completely different point of view of things, more traditional, I suppose. And she kept on going on about how she always wanted me to be a hairdresser. And because I wasn't a hairdresser, I'd somehow failed in life or something, and she was right and I was wrong. And if I had done what she had said that I should have done, I would have been okay in life. And just kept on going on about this over and over again, as if it felt to me like she wasn't recognizing who I was, or my talents, or my achievements, or my accomplishments, or what I actually do, you know. Because I don't actually have a bricks and mortar business, I don't have a shop front on the high street or something like that. Because I don't have that, and my mother's never been online. She's never, you know, she's never had an email address or anything. She's never been online. She has no idea about it. She has no idea about it, and because my shop front is online, right? But that doesn't mean anything to her whatsoever. So to her, if I had a hairdressing salon, I would be much more of a success than I am now in her mind. So I was, and she was saying this in front of other people and things like this. And what do you say to that? I don't know. What do you say? I didn't argue it or anything like that. And I guess she was, as we've been talking about, I guess she was projecting her values onto me, and being careless. She's been careless in our relationships in our relationship, and at the time, looking back, I'm sure I could have used better communication to make her better understand. But at the time, I didn't say too much. I was a little bit taken aback by it. I was, even though I was talking about getting out of the victim mode yesterday, I was actually starting to feel like a bit of a victim. You know? So this is what happens when we're going through stuff, when we're learning about this. Stuff will probably come up to challenge it in our lives, you know, to show us, and sometimes it can be very challenging when this does happen. When it happens from, you know, someone who's a close family member or something like that, because I get people on YouTube and social media, and people send me emails that, you know, that could be perceived as downright insulting or whatever, and for me that's just like water off a duck's back. I really couldn't care less, you know. Depending on who it's coming from. If it's coming from someone I look up to, then I ponder, then I think. Then if it's coming from family or something like that, then it can catch us off guard, right? That can catch us off guard, and you know, when we're being vulnerable. And so yeah, you know, you will be challenged. You will be challenged. And then for the rest of the evening, I was completely off center. I was in this like grr state, you know. Why doesn't she understand? And you know, all this sort of stuff. And then it's like realizing, like, I'm being a little bit of a victim here, you know. And even to go through the process of saying, okay, well, what's the benefit of that? What's the benefit of that situation? As I was like, no, I'm not doing that. You know, there was resistance to that. It was like I wanted to stay in that state of annoyance, right? So this is the process, you know. Once we actually get to a new level, we receive another set of challenges to help us grow, right? So wherever we get to, we're always going to receive challenges to help us grow. And that was the new set of challenges that I received to help me grow at this new level of relationships and being able to be masterful in my own relationships, right? So anyway, that's my little story of yesterday, and hopefully you can, you know, get something from that and learn something that, you know, this happens to everybody at every level, you know. The people that we may put on some sort of pedestal and see them as being perfect or something, they're having their relationship difficulties at times, you know. At times they're going through it, right? And so that's part and parcel of it. It's part and parcel of it, you know. And to realize that those people that we look up to and admire, to realize that there's no difference between them and us. No difference, right? Fewer distinctions, maybe a few different habits, but we can change that within a day, right? No difference. We're equals, right? So anyway, we're now going to carry on with our reading. We're on page 145, and I'm just going to read through the exercise. Exercise 2, I'm reading from The Value Factor by Dr. John Demartini. You can buy the book. If this is your first training you're watching, you can buy the book on dr.demartini.com or amazon.com, and you'll need it for this. And after you watch this, make sure you watch all of these sequentially on Be Your Potential channel. Okay, exercise 2, freeing yourself from fantasies and resentment. If fantasies, infatuations, or resentments of any type are clouding your vision, you will have trouble opening your heart to relationships in the present. Use this exercise to liberate yourself from your baggage so you can fully appreciate your current relationships of all types. Instructions. 1. Think of a person from the past that you were once infatuated with, or perhaps that you are still infatuated with. Complete the following chart by listing 5 character traits that you admire or are infatuated with most about this person. traits that you perceive to be highly supportive to your values, your highest values. Then next to each of these 5 supportive character traits, list at least 5 hidden drawbacks to help gain a calm down of your infatuation. So you do the exercise, write down the infatuated character trait, and then 5 hidden drawbacks to each trait. And you do that 5 times. 2. Think of a person from your past whom you've been very angry with or disappointed by. Particularly a person who you feel has affected your view of what a relationship with a spouse, friend, or family member or colleague might be. Complete the following chart by listing 5 of this person's character traits that you most despise or feel resentful about. Traits that you perceive to be highly challenging to your highest values. Then, next to each of these 5 resented character traits, list at least 5 hidden benefits that you can think of to help begin to calm your resentment. So you list resented character trait, and then 5 hidden benefits to each trait, and you do that 5 times. For further information on how to dissolve emotional baggage and empower your life, please consider logging on to drdemartini.com/baggage for free inspiring audio presentation, how to leave your baggage behind, or consider learning the Demartini method by attending the Breakthrough Experience. And I recommend you'll do that. There is a Breakthrough Experience happening in London on September 26th and 27th, or no, 27th, 28th. There's a Demartini experience happening there, and on the 24th he's giving a short talk in London. You can contact me about more information about that or on his site. So, relationships exist to help us grow. As we've seen, you and every other individual on this planet live with a unique set of values, and your highest value underlies your identity. That highest value expresses what is most important to you, what is most meaningful, and what you're most inspired by and dedicated to. Now, just as you don't share fingerprints or retinal patterns with any other person, you never share complete sets of values. Maybe you have some values in common in some general way with other people, but because your values are fingerprint specific, nobody else will have the exact same viewpoints on life. Nor will anyone have the same voids driving their values. Those are also specific to you. So whomever you are relating to, you are living by your values and they are living by theirs. Every decision that either of you makes will be based on what each of you perceives will fulfill your highest values most. If you're not aware of the values factor, this basic truth can get you in trouble. You might find yourself expecting each other to essentially share the same values. But to expect any human being to live outside their highest values and inside yours is a delusion. You can't do it. And neither can anyone you love, not your parents, not your children, not your friends, not your business colleagues, and certainly not your husband, your wife, or your life partner. Anytime you expect to live outside their values, either you or anyone else, you will end up with what I call the ABCDs of negativity, anger and aggression, blame, and feelings of betrayal, criticism, and challenge, despair and depression, negative feelings directed towards yourself, them, or both. Nor can you achieve a fulfilling relationship if you view either your highest values or the other person's highest values as more important. Either putting yourself up or putting yourself down is going to lead to communication problems. For example, if you believe that your highest values are more important than the other person's, you'll become a little self-righteous and will begin to think that you have more to offer than them. You will tend to talk down to them carelessly because you care less about their values than your own. You will think that you're right because you value your own highest values more than theirs, and you believe your own values are right. And so you will expect them to live in your highest values and not their own. However, they won't do it. They will do what every human being does, make decisions according to their own highest values. The instant you project your unrealistic expectations onto them, you'll probably begin to feel betrayed by how they are failing to meet those expectations. Yet the other person never actually betrayed you. You betrayed yourself by expecting another person to live according to your highest values. What if you play the role of the underdog and minimize yourself relative to someone else and put them on a pedestal? Once again, you will end up with the ABCDs of negativity, but this time directed primarily toward yourself. In this case, rather than projecting your highest values onto the other person, you will tend to inject their highest values into your life and attempt to live according to their highest values. But you have still created a frustrating moral dilemma because now you are making decisions according to your own highest values while attempting to live according to somebody else's. Inevitably, this disjuncture creates problems, both in terms of how you view yourself and perhaps also in terms of how you actually behave. Soon you will find yourself thinking, what's wrong with me? Why can't I stay focused? Why can't I be disciplined? Why do I keep making mistakes? Why can't I continue doing what I think I should be doing according to these other highest values? And of course, the answer is the same. You're making decisions based on your highest values. So naturally, you're not going to do a great job of living up to their highest values. The irony is that you became infatuated with this other person in the first place because you believe they predominantly support your highest values. Now you're beating yourself up because you can't live up to their highest values. When we become infatuated with somebody, we often tend to sacrifice what is really important to us, our highest value or telos, until we build up enough resentment to set ourselves free and take them off the pedestal and get our life or highest values back. When we take the other person off the pedestal, we often reverse our original stance and throw them down into the pit. Now, instead of trying to live by their highest values, we try to get them to live according to our highest values. Then they become resentful and eventually they set themselves free and take us off the pedestal and try to get their life back. It's a vicious cycle, but actually a necessary cycle, revolving until both parties are equal and playing together on a level field. Every one of us wants to be loved and appreciated for who we are, for our identity, for our highest values, for what matters most to us. And we want the people in our lives to love us and appreciate us according to our highest values, to show their love and express their appreciation in ways that mean the most to us. The woman I told you about earlier wanted her husband to express his love for her by talking to her about her day. The husband wanted his wife to express her love for him by letting him have some quiet time after work. If I want you to express your love through my values, and you want me to express my love through your values, that is a recipe for frustration. Unless we understand the values factor and have fully completed the cross-linking of our highest values, certainly we will find it more fulfilling to communicate our love and what is most important to us in terms of the other person's highest values. What will almost certainly not be fulfilling is to sacrifice what is most important to us and attempt to live solely in terms of the other person's highest values. Trying to live outside your highest values or expecting your loved ones to live outside theirs is a recipe for frustration, a recipe for fulfillment, for deepening your love, and for developing lasting and fulfilling relationships in all spheres of your life is to make room for an exchange of both challenge and support for both the other person's highest values and your own. Alright, awesome. That ends our reading for today. And I was just getting a lot from that, from reading that and relating it to my experience yesterday with my mum. I was able to feel better about the situation and just realize that that's most people. Most people will project their values onto others. or they will minimize themselves and tread on eggshells, you know. But as we're finding out, the masterful way is to be able to communicate to each other in our own, in the other person's highest values, right? So there's no need for compromise. As so many relationship books and philosophies teach about compromise, when we understand this methodology, then there's no need to compromise, right? It's all about communicating in the other person's highest values and appreciating the other person's highest values and not trying to project our highest values onto them or minimizing ourselves in order to so they feel okay about their values, right? And to tread on eggshells. And that's a very profound understanding, you know, to constantly get that on a deeper level and to apply it in our life. Because it's one thing to know something intellectually, but to start applying it in our life. And when you start applying this from today onwards in your life, and you get better at it every single day, and you start to think this way, that's when the life mastery comes into play. So thank you very much for watching again this morning. Much appreciated. I'm very grateful for you, for your time, for your open-mindedness, for your desire for learning and growth. Thank you, I appreciate that. If you haven't joined our team yet and you want to get regular updates on the email, or you want to have a vehicle where you can reach financial freedom with a home-based business, then click on the link below and you can do that. And then you can also tune into our mastermind meeting that we're having in just a few minutes on another hangout. But to be in that, you need to be in our team, and I send a private email for the link for that. Okay, so thank you very much for taking that time, and I shall see you again tomorrow. Wait, tomorrow we're taking a day off. Tomorrow is Sunday, and I have something else on which is clashing. So tomorrow we're taking a day off, and we'll resume again on Monday morning. Okay, thanks very much, and see you then.